Hello, hello.
Hello, everybody.
I am so excited
Yeah.
because I believe today's podcast is going to be our best one this far.
Really?
Yes, I actually
Okay.
believe that because
Okay.
I think this topic is very weird and controversial at the
Yes.
same time.
Yes.
But before we get into it, let me introduce who we are. My name is Samuel Kanza,
I am Latoya Kansas.
and we are your hosts for this amazing 5-week podcast called Till Death. Where we're talking about what are we talking about during this podcast?
We're talking about marriage, relationships, and love. We're talking from just our own experience and the journey that we've been through, and then also just picking apart this amazing book that you guys see here that we released not long ago, and helping you guys understand how you can strengthen your relationships.
Yes.
And how you can get to a place where you feel confident about the relationships that you're in.
Yeah, so if you did not know, we did release an amazing book, and I can call it amazing. Am I allowed to do that?
Yeah.
I've called other books amazing. It just sounds kind of funny when it's your own book and you call it amazing, but I actually do believe that this is an amazing book. And this is one of those books that I really am believing. Whether I wrote the book or someone else had written the book, I believe this book will change your life. This book is not only for the singles, it is not only for those who are dating, it is not only for those who are married, it is for all people, realistically. So this book will gigantically, is that a word? Gigantically?
I think so.
Okay. This book will teach you how to spot red flags within other people, number one, and also within yourself.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure this is very clear about the book. It's not just about spotting red flags in other people. It's about spotting the red flags in yourself so you can also become a better person. So if you didn't know, the book is officially out. You can go ahead and grab it on Amazon. The link is in the bio if you want to go ahead and grab it as we're speaking. If you have YouTube Premium, which I encourage you guys to get. I think it's a really cool thing to get. You can actually go on different tabs and apps while watching a video, so I think it's pretty cool. So if you don't have YouTube Premium, just get the book after this video, after this podcast, because as I said, it is going to change your life.
Yeah.
All right, Toya, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about the myth of the one, exposing
Jesus.
how that is something that we do not believe in.
Oh Lord, I think this is one of those touchy subjects for a lot of people, especially the people who ride off of the one.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because if we're being honest, let's be honest. There's one person you know out there that often talks about the one, right? There's one person that you probably know. Even as I'm saying this, I'm sure you can think of somebody, or even maybe two people who you know are always talking about, I gotta find my one, I gotta find my Eve, I gotta find my Adam. And today we're going to be talking about not even this belief, this myth.
Yeah.
Because it's not, okay, I don't want to go too deep into it. So we're going to be talking about the one, and we're going to be talking about why we personally don't believe in this idea or this belief of the one, us. But before we get into that, there is a topic that we need to touch on, which kind of ties into this idea of the one a little bit, kind of. And it's a documentary or docuseries that we recently started watching. And it's called, let me make sure I get the right name, because I've been calling it Exposing, and it's actually called Escaping Twin Flames.
Yeah.
So if you didn't know, myself and my wife, we're really big on watching like reality TV shows, documentaries as well. And this one, it stood out to me. It really did. I saw it on Twitter. What am I saying? I saw it on TikTok, actually. I saw a few people review it. I thought it was cool. So I was like, you know what? Since we love it so much, since we love documentaries so much and docuseries, let me just give it a shot. And we started watching it, and Lord, do you want to give us your initial thoughts on this crazy? Actually, what is it? Do you want to explain what it even is?
So essentially, it's a documentary that's breaking apart this couple, this organization that they started, business essentially that they started to help people find their twin flame. We're going to explain what that is in a second. Made millions of dollars off of this, and the documentary is basically exposing all the toxic cult-like behavior that went on in this group with these group of people, all the scandals, and it's honestly disturbing. I'm gonna be honest, it's disturbing. It was really interesting though. Like we were like glued to the TV. And if I had to say my initial reaction, I was shocked. Like when Sam told me what it was about, I was like, okay, this sounds crazy, but I had no idea it would be this bad.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was like, this is beyond like the average cult leader.
Yeah.
Like this destroyed people's lives.
Absolutely.
So if you have not watched it, I definitely would say if you have a Netflix account, check it out.
Yeah, guys, and I can't stress it because we can't give too many spoilers, but at the end of the day, listen, we're going to give you guys what we know about this documentary, and we're going to give you guys your thoughts on it as well. And one thing I can say, because I have to make sure, like I said, I keep looking now because I want to make sure I have the right title for this documentary. So, Escaping Twin Flames is one of the craziest docuseries I've ever watched.
Yeah, same.
Hands down.
Same.
Hands down. This docuseries made me realize how easy it is to live in a bubble. And the thing is, these kind of twisted docuseries, I think, have a very similar effect on me personally, because it always kind of makes me think, man, I was just living my life. At one point in the docuseries, it says 2019, and I was saying to Tori, I'm just like, we were chilling, like we were just living
like,
our life.
In this month of 2019,
Yeah,
people are like losing their minds because of this insane couple. What were we doing? And it's just weird how you can be in your own reality doing your thing and people are living a whole different life.
Fully.
All these scandals are breaking loose. You have no idea this stuff is going on in the world.
Like these people are insane.
Yeah.
And I can actually say that. I would actually say that these people are
definitely
insane. They're not right in their mind.
Yeah.
I believe that the names are Jeff and Shayla. I don't know. They're crazy. Yeah. So Escaping Twin Flames, it's just an insane thing. So let me break down what a twin flame is for those who are very confused by everything we're saying. I have the definition right here because I didn't want to butcher it. So what is a twin flame? Sorry. So a twin flame, contrary to popular belief, the concept of twin flames is not the same as soulmates. Let's get this straight. Your twin flame doesn't even have to be someone you fall in love with. Or no, although it often is. This kind of high-level soul-based connection isn't about romance. It's about spiritual growth, says Vallejos. I'm trying to say the name. It's Vallejos. It's Vallejos. That's how you say it. I'm trying to teach you as I'm saying.
Okay.
Vallejos. You meet them, that's your twin flame. You meet them and your life just completely changes. You start seeing the world differently. It pushes you to want to engage with divine, shift consciousness and become a better soulful being in this experience. As mentioned above, a twin flame can be a romantic partner, a best friend, or a mentor. This was taken directly from allure.com. So basically a twin flame and a soulmate are technically two different things.
They're essentially
but they're the same thing.
Yeah.
You're trying to like, you know when people are like trying to find different terms for different things?
And even for it to say it can be a friend or a mentor, in the show, a twin flame is solely romantic.
Solely romantic.
It's a soulmate.
Yeah.
It's a person that you believe is the only one for you and there's no one else that can take that place. Here's the craziest thing about a twin flame, actually. They can be married with children.
Jesus.
They can be in a whole different relationship and still, no matter what, they are your twin flame and you have to fight for this person to remain with you, which is insane. So people are out here stalking people. Okay, like literally stalking people, sending them messages, showing up to their cities, moving to their cities, telling them that they have to move in with them as soon as possible because they are their twin flame.
What is happening with the world we live in? What's going on?
I actually still can't believe it.
What are we doing?
I cannot believe what I was watching.
And the
Like
thing is,
people have restraining orders because it gets that bad.
fully. And the thing is, the way the documentary is portrayed. And another thing I love about documentary. I love when a documentary just really is well done. As twisted as the topic may be, I'm a fan of documentaries that are actually just well put together. You can tell they didn't do this thing in 6 months. Like this took maybe even a year plus to make that documentary. And with this one, listen, they didn't pay us to say any of this. I can actually tell you guys it's worth watching. It's really good. And I think it also helps you to understand how, number one, how messed up the world we live in is. Then there's the first thing. And then the second thing is how it's very easy to be deceived into thinking that this another person can be your soulmate, or in this case your twin flame, or can be this divine individual that has this special connection with you. And it's just so easy to be deceived, realistically. And that's what I really got from the show, is the fact that you can so easily be deceived. And human beings, if you tell them what they subconsciously even want to hear or want to know, they will put the money where their mouth is and they will follow you.
Yeah.
And this is what we see from that documentary. Now, why are we talking about that documentary? It's because, yes, by definition, a twin flame and a soulmate are two different things. But realistically, if we get down to the bottom of it, it's pretty much the same thing, right? So this documentary, it kind of was funny because we were going to talk about the one regardless. But then when we watch it, we're just like, okay, we really have to talk about this thing. So now
it captivates how dangerous the concept of the one can be. That's
yes,
what we wanted to talk about. This.
Exactly. So now I think that's a perfect segue into what we actually want to talk about, which is the one. Yes. So what is the one?
So the one is that literally that only person, that one particular person that you believe was destined to be with you in love and to spend the rest of their life with you. Now, let me put this disclaimer and say that we do believe that you should only be married to one person for the rest of your life. And that you should devote your love and your attention and your covenant to one person. Absolutely. But Sam and I do not believe that there is this one predestined person that has to marry you. And if they do not marry you, then you're never going to find love. We believe that if two people under the authority of God make a covenant, make a commitment to the Lord to be dedicated to each other, to be in love with each other, and to serve each other in the way that God calls for us to serve each other, that it can work. If both people are dedicated to the will of God, if both people are dedicated to each other and to the adventure of love, it can work, because love is a choice, and we believe that God gives us free will. The one thing that actually set me free personally from this concept of the one was a mentor. I was dating someone one time, didn't work out. I was so devastated. I really felt like this was the one. And a mentor of mine said to me, do you really think that God would put the whole entirety of your destiny dependent on one person who has free will, who has a choice to love you, who has a choice to be with you or not? Why would God make one particular person have that much pressure and that much control of where you go? And it set me free. I was like, it's so true. The only one who is completely in control of my destiny and where it goes is me, and under the authority of Jesus Christ. That's right. Under the authority of God. No human being can determine that for me.
Yeah. And the thing is, the reason why I think it's so important to understand how dangerous this type of thinking is because at the end of the day, we're talking about twin flames earlier, right? And we're talking about how crazy these people are. And don't get me wrong, twin flames is definitely an extreme and it's insane. But when it comes down to fulfillment, at the end of the day, they're looking for fulfillment.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, when it comes to the idea of the one, the reason why a lot of people believe in the one is because they are trying to find fulfillment in something that doesn't actually exist.
Exactly.
And I believe a lot of us, unfortunately, as human beings, we get stuck into this trap where we disguise or we kind of cover, or how can I say it? We act like we're looking for something, but in reality, we're trying to fulfill something else.
Yeah.
And I believe the concept of the one is a perfect example of that.
Yeah, and I think that people don't have patience.
Yes.
And people are afraid that they're going to be alone for the rest of their lives. And because of that fear of being alone it's easier to believe that, okay, there's one singular person out there for me, or sometimes they don't want to let go of a particular person or relationship.
Yeah.
So it's easier to just like put a title on it so that that person now feels stuck.
Yes.
And you now feel stuck to that covenant and to that relationship, which is dangerous.
There was a guy that I knew a long time ago, and I don't know if he believed in twin flames. I'm not sure. I really don't know. But he really believed in this person that he was dating at one point, and then no longer dated. And the person that he was dating, and now they separated. That person, they moved on, right? They had kids, they had a house, and so forth. But that individual really believed that that was their soulmate.
Yeah.
They really, and
like had their picture on their phone. If you're talking about the same person.
yeah, we're talking about the same person.
Okay.
Yeah, they fully had the person as their wallpaper.
And we're showing it to people
Yeah.
as their wife. Like, what is going on?
What is going on?
And here's the crazy thing is, we actually thought that they were dating the person for months.
I was so
Like
confused.
when we found out the person had a full relationship and children, we nearly had a heart attack. We're like, sorry, what?
Because the thing is, to me, if you have a girl as your wallpaper,
They're with you.
they're with you. It's not a maybe or maybe not. Like, they're with you. It's very clear, right?
Yeah.
So when I found out that wasn't a thing, I was like, okay, so what's going on? And they broke it down for me. And then I said, okay, you're a little delulu.
Delulu.
Yeah, just
Indeed.
a little delulu. You know, on the spectrum of deluluness, you're somewhere
You're high
here.
up there on the scale.
No, I don't think he's high up there.
No, he's high
I
up there on
think
the
Twin Flames is higher
up,
delulu.
high up there on the scale. So
You are rude.
high up there on the scale.
Okay, fine.
If you have someone's photo, you're showing up at their house.
Yes.
You're high up there on the Delulu scale.
On the delulu spectrum, you're on the far side. Okay, fine.
You are king of the Delulu camp.
If you guys are watching live, let me know if that's on the extreme side of the Lulu spectrum. I think it's far, but I don't think it's as like, yo, you're crazy. I think it's more like,
no, that's crazy. Are you kidding me?
it's crazy, eh?
What if another man had my photo on his phone and was going around and telling people that I was his?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's kind
You'd
of
say,
crazy.
oh, he's not crazy?
I would say it's kind of Delulu.
Yeah.
It's a little bit Delulu, but
It's giving Delulu.
it is. But my point is, why I'm sharing this is because this individual, according to Toya, who was slightly Delulu.
It's not slightly. It's 110%.
Okay, fine. Who was fairly Delulu. This individual went on, and eventually they moved on to someone else. But during that
Who
time,
also wasn't interested in them. But anyways.
Really?
Yes.
oh damn, maybe he was. Oh, maybe they were kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, so that happened
Which
twice.
is sad. Sam, it happened 3 times.
My Jesus.
I remember all the 3 people.
I never knew that.
Yes, you did. You were there.
3 people?
Yes.
Wait, did he have the wallpaper for all 3?
Yes.
You're lying.
I don't know about the wallpaper for the 3rd one, but the 3rd one I met them, so I assumed they were on the wallpaper too.
Yeah.
And then they disappeared.
Oh yeah, he's crazy. Or they're crazy. Well, they're Delulu. they're on the spectrum. What? Okay, we can talk about this after the podcast. I'm so shocked, guys. Sorry. You're seeing my loud reaction to something that I thought I knew, but I didn't. Point is, that person that we're talking about, this individual, I believe that through their fantasy of being with this individual, they wanted to fulfill something else. And when it comes to the one, because
filling a void.
Yeah, in their case, they thought that person was the one.
Yeah.
And in their case, I also believe, just like everyone else who believes in the one, you're just trying to fulfill something.
Yeah.
And I think it gets even worse. Let me put it this way. Oh Lord.
They say God said.
No, when they say God said, I wasn't even gonna go there. You can go there after. God did.
God did.
That is hilarious.
He did.
The people. Let me tell you this. If you have a history of being terrible at relationships, and then you come out talking about, I need to find the one, I think you need to check yourself.
Absolutely.
Because I think the reason why you're using the one, or the reason why you're using the concept of the one, is because you are terrible at relationships, And that is your excuse for not being with anybody.
I want to take accountability.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So your idea is the reason why I'm single, and I'm talking about being without a boyfriend, not being married, not having a person that you actually are committed to. Because a lot of people, February 14th comes and we talking about Jesus is my Valentine. You're single. It's okay. Accept it. You are a single person. You are as single as I'm trying to find a single thing here. You're a single person. I'm talking about if you're a single person, talking about the one as a way to basically hide the fact that you don't have anybody in your life, I believe is a sad scenario. And many of us, I'm saying us because we're all part of the body here, for those who believe in the one, even those who don't believe in God. If you believe in the one, many of us as human beings, we have to check ourselves and realize that there are a lot of different beliefs we have in our lives that are actually just I want to say a coping mechanism, but basically like a veil for what we don't want people to see, which is the fact that we're trying to fulfill things within us that we know should be fulfilled but are not, and so forth. So we have to be very careful with this concept of the one, because it can literally destroy us and make us think of something that isn't.
Yeah, it has you in a delusion, and it can destroy other people.
Absolutely.
If someone feels trapped and you say that God said that they're your spouse. If God is really good at speaking. He can do it all by himself. He doesn't need you to tell somebody who their spouse is. I feel like that you're their spouse. I feel like he on his own can tell the person that this is their spouse.
Fully.
To completely corner somebody and make them feel like they are like locked into you now, and they don't even have the choice to choose you, is absolutely delusional. Mm-hmm. And I think that we do that because we want to control the situation. And we want people to now feel captivated into this truth that God said something, rather than just being bold and saying, I like you, I want to be with you, do you feel the same?
Yeah. No, that's honestly, and it's that simple. We don't have to overcomplicate it. Now, my question to you is, has any man come to you and said, you're my one and only?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's go. How did you handle the conversation?
One of them I had no feelings towards, barely knew him. We just kind of went to the same Bible study. I wasn't even like, that serious in God yet. Still getting to know God. Sent me a message on Facebook, long message. I think it was Instagram. I can't remember. I think it was Facebook.
He slid in the DMs?
Yeah.
Okay, he slid in the messenger?
God said, I'm his wife, and basically not giving me a choice to tell him that I don't want to be his wife. And it was really uncomfortable.
How did he not give you a choice? What does that look like?
Well, because God said.
Oh, okay. So he basically cornered you with the God said.
Yeah, like what God said, so we got to figure this out. We got to be together.
We got to make it work.
And I'm like, no, we don't. Actually, God did not say that.
Okay.
It was really, really creepy.
So how did he handle the situation?
He didn't handle it well. He pursued me for quite some time.
Okay.
Until eventually, I think he saw I was in a relationship, and then he kind of blocked me off of everything.
He saw a selfie of us on Instagram?
I don't think it was you, but I had to get a little stern in my approach and make it clear that no, God did not say that.
Wow.
It was really uncomfortable. I really didn't like it.
I can imagine. I've never been approached with the God said thing, or that I'm the one. I have been told before, and we're actually going to get into a topic
by someone else.
Something about dreams soon. I have been told before the whole I saw you and this person in a dream before, so I think you guys are supposed to be together.
Oh my God, I remember that.
I think, were we dating?
The person came to me.
Yeah, we were dating. I remember.
They knew who Samuel's wife was. It wasn't me, by the way. It was someone else.
But we were dating, right?
No, not yet.
Oh,
we were
okay. I thought we were. Close. Okay.
And were we dating?
I'm pretty sure we were dating. Because I remember just thinking to myself, how is this person for me if I'm already with somebody else?
Maybe you were in pursuing me at that point.
Maybe we're dating in my head.
But it was very close that we were.
Maybe in my head
Maybe you're Delulu?
That's hilarious. I'm definitely not Delulu. I mean, I didn't marry you, so maybe.
Yeah, you weren't too far off, I guess.
Maybe.
But yeah, it was really uncomfortable. And I remember them pulling you and her together and saying,
yes,
this is what the Lord is saying.
Yeah.
What the heck?
I was so confused.
That is so weird.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, and man, it's tough.
And this person was a close friend of mine. I should mention that.
The person, you mean the person who had the dream, or
the person who was supposed to be his wife?
Yeah, supposedly.
So she was really uncomfortable.
So was I. Because we were good friends. It's not like this was a random person, by the way. I knew the girl too. I was really friends with her. We were really good friends. Like, we didn't have a bad friendship or anything like that. So it just made things a bit awkward. And like I said, I'm pretty sure we were dating. That's why, like, in my head, I was just thinking, why would she pull me aside if she knows
And
I'm
here's
dating
what's even
someone?
weirder. When Sam and I got together, she stopped talking to me. The lady who had the dream.
Oh.
She stopped talking to me and gave me the cold shoulder. Until this day, she like acts like I don't even. Well, I haven't seen her in years, but
I think by...
she was really upset that her prophecy wasn't fulfilled.
No, but that's the thing. I think by you being with me, it was kind of like you saying, like, yo, you're false. I think that's what you were saying.
You're Delulu woman.
I think
woman
that's what it felt like to her. I think she was like, wow, okay, like, that's how you feel.
Yeah, this is the man I'm in love with, and he actually likes me back. It's not your, like, who does she think she is?
She's a prophet.
She's
or
not.
Prophetess. Yes, she is. Or evangelist. One of the two.
You're a joke.
But she's one of the two. Like, she's out here. So
she was wrong. That's what she is.
Oh Lord. So guys, in the comment section, watching live or the replay, let us know, because I want this to be very interactive. Has it happened to you? And, like, honestly, just don't get too descriptive here, because it's gonna take too long for you to write this. But let me know in the live chat. I had to look down to see live chat comment section. In the live chat, has that ever happened to you, that a man or a woman came to you and said, "You are my one"? And as you guys write these down, I'm gonna actually read them out loud, because for some reason these stories to me are hilarious. I just think it's just weird that people come to you and just say, like, yo, you're just my one. And especially when they pull the God said. God said.
They'll have a voice too, like, God said. Like,
no.
yes, it's true.
What?
It's true, because they say it with authority. It's true.
What? Who?
It's all of them.
Okay, people watching, just write in the live chat if you had a situation where a man or a woman approached you about you being the one. Unfortunately, a lot of older African men, we struggle with this. Just
Lord.
walking up to women with the "you're the one."
Not the shake of hands.
No, a lot of old African, and I'm saying we. You guys see how inclusive I am?
Oh my God.
I'm a very inclusive
so
guy.
funny?
I don't have to say we, but let me say we as African men.
You sister.
Yeah, you, Ghana. God told me you're the one.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He loony. He didn't tell you nothing.
Oh, that's funny. Oh Lord. But yeah, the handshaking is a real thing.
Oh my God! Someone said that it happened to them. The person even gave them the date for the wedding.
Don't
Not the
kill me.
date. He's already planning the wedding.
There are a lot of prophetic people
This
out
is
there.
high on the Delulu spectrum for real.
But this is prophetic. Prophetic people out there. A lot
More
of
like
prophets
lying.
out there have that revelation that there's a woman out there who's the one.
It's so true.
Somebody said, he didn't say God said, but he started singing Marvin Gaye badly.
No.
What is no? Pardon?
No.
Why did he start singing? I'm
Why
asking
are
you.
you singing?
Why did he start singing Marvin Gaye?
This is so embarrassing.
But I'm just. Can you please let us know what song he sang? I'm really curious to know.
Why Ghana leaves out the conversation?
Pardon? What'd you say?
Someone said, why Ghana? We're not going to come for Ghana. Trust me. It's our darker skin, our more melanin people.
People on the darker side.
People in the melanin side struggle with this.
Somebody said there was the time when someone showed up with the ring too. Oh, I was highly confused because we were legit just friends.
Sorry, they had a ring?
They pulled up with the ring? Dang.
Wow. This Delulu world is a thing.
I mean, if a guy pulls up with the ring, maybe not marry him, but give him a chance, no?
No. That is so creepy. Oh my God. You know what happened to me one time?
What happened?
So this guy didn't say God said, because he wasn't like really a Christian or anything like that. But he told me he's taking me to a date to the movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got to the movie theater, his whole family was there.
What?
Ready to meet me for the marriage.
You're lying.
I am dead serious.
So you're lying.
No.
How many members were there?
It was at least
like
6 of
cousins?
them. It was like all of his, he had a big family. All of his siblings, his mom, his aunt was there. all ready to see this beautiful wife that he had found. I almost said his name for a second.
But
Yep.
did he have cousins there too?
I don't remember if there was cousins. I just know there was a lot of people.
What?
It was so uncomfortable.
Because you're the one.
I'm the one.
Wow. I'm in shock. I never knew this. So, I'm gonna just continue with this. That's kind of crazy though. The family pulling up to this thing.
I'm dying.
It reminds me of a scene in in Coming to America, where it's just extra. That's what it sounds like. It's just an extra moment where the family is there and you're just kind of like, so what did you do?
I was so uncomfortable. I mean, I introduced myself to them, and they were like, "Oh my God, you're perfect.
Dang.
I see why he chose you."
Have you ever seen that scene in Get Out when they like examine the black person and just like
That's literally what it felt
touching
like,
their hair, like,
honestly.
oh, your cheeks.
It was so disturbing. I remember the worst part was having to sit through the movie after.
Wait, was the family in the movie
No, they
theater?
left, they left,
Okay,
they left.
I was like, no way.
They left and they came back at the end to pick him up.
How did the whole family came to pick him up?
I'm not kidding, Sam. I'm not
What's happening?
Mm-hmm.
But why though?
Because
You're the one.
They said they're a close knit family and they need to see who
Dang.
who stole his heart.
Did they pull up? That's the ultimate question. Let me see
was
how
crazy.
bad this guy was. Did they pull up in the traditional clothes?
No.
Okay.
No.
I thought it was one of those.
That would have been.
That would have
so
been really funny.
Oh my
With
God.
like
Well, funny today, probably not.
branches and
Oh my
stuff.
God.
Like Jesus coming on a donkey type of thing.
Jesus.
That would have been really funny.
Yeah,
That would have been
that
hilarious.
was one of the weirdest situations I've ever had.
Man, you had some weird situations. I
Yeah.
feel like women go
I
through
couldn't
this
even
stuff more
tell.
than men.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know if it's because men are a bit bolder into doing that, but I find that a lot of women just have these weird situations.
Mm-hmm.
Like you hear oftentimes, especially with like the ladies that I know that are black, they tell me the stories of like old African men who come up to them and just compliment them. And I don't really hear that from men. I don't hear men saying, "Oh wow, an old African lady came up to," like it's not really a thing like that. Like older African ladies, can I spill the tea on old African ladies a little bit?
Sure.
Can we go into that for like half a sec?
Really random, but okay.
Yeah, sorry. I just think some people should know that, especially for men. Listen, men out there. Old African ladies, they won't just come up to you and be like, "Oh, like you're cute," or like, I mean, some will, but not all. But in comparison to older men, old African ladies, how they kind of get around it is they kind of squeeze you a little tighter than
Ew.
they do that. It's a real thing. No, old African women, if they're into you, they're gonna squeeze you a little bit harder.
This is disgusting.
You didn't know this?
Well, I'm not a male, so.
No, but I mean, they don't tell you this stuff.
Well, no.
Well, I guess you wouldn't know that. But yeah,
That is so.
I've had moments before, like she gives you a hug and then like it's a little either longer than you would expect,
Or the
or
hand
it's a little
too
tight.
low.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay. Like it almost like a weird massage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a weird cougar massage. And I didn't even pay for it. It's kind of like, okay, well,
God.
what do I do in this
That's
situation?
A cougar massage.
It totally is a cougar massage, and it's weird. so now I'm thinking about it, and old people do that. It's just a thing.
Sam, this is disgusting.
I really thought you knew this.
No.
Well, now you know.
If
Now
someone
you know.
does that to you better tell me.
Like live,
Give
tell
me a
you.
cougar massage. Show me on the spot as they're hugging
But
you.
it's not like it's not like a, what do they call it? Like Swedish, like hitting my back or stuff like
Well,
that.
it doesn't matter.
But it's more like
gross.
it's like a little rub like this.
This
Like,
is so
little-
disgusting.
brother,
Ew, it's giving brother
Sam. It's brother Sam. Everything is good.
Ew.
Like 2 minutes in, brother Sam, you're good.
Didn't you have an older lady that was into you? Do you remember that? Mm-hmm.
I probably did.
Yes, I remember that situation. She was really
What do
into
you mean into me? Like,
Into
Why do you
you. Because she told me she was into you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't remember that.
You know who I'm talking about, but I won't get too into
I
detail.
think I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I mean,
It
no,
was something.
I still got it.
Oh,
Old
whatever.
ladies know I'm a mature man.
Whatever.
I still.
I've had old ladies say stuff to me like, "Oh, you're so lucky to have him. He's so good looking."
No way.
Like, but like more than he's so good looking. Like they get a little too descriptive. It's a little weird.
But does it not feel as creepy when it's an older person? Like, isn't it more like flattering than creepy?
Some of them, it's innocent. Obviously, not everybody wants your spouse. Like, I don't believe in that. I just like some of them have shared stuff like, "Ooh, if I was a little bit younger," like they say little things like that.
To you?
Mhm.
What?
Mhm.
Dang, I'm really
Yeah.
shocked by this.
Some of these older women are different. These
Yeah,
older
yeah,
women are
yeah.
horny.
They're bored. Yeah. They're bored. These older women, they're just bored ladies. They want a young man in their life.
Man.
Let's pray for the older generation.
Cougars.
They're out here. Sorry, this chat is hilarious. That's funny. Okay, so we're talking about the one. Let's talk about.
How do we get here in the conversation?
It's because I started talking about older ladies, how they rub upon you and they give you
Yo, just
a
stop.
10-second hug.
This is disgusting.
Do you guys know how long of a hug is 10 seconds?
Yeah, that's too long.
If an old lady hugs you for 10 seconds, that's a very long hug.
Mm-hmm.
And then she puts her hand like a little bit lower like this.
This is disgusting.
Brother Sam. All right. Let's get into the one
This conversation is hilarious.
according to the Bible. Now, this is
Yeah.
going to be a very short segment because it's not in the Bible.
Jokes.
But here's why I think some people think it's biblical. And here's the thing. We have to understand this, guys, because there's a lot of things out there that we think are in scriptures, but they're really not. Like, for example, and I remember doing a TikTok series about that once. And I was doing basically different sayings that we often hear in modern day culture that people think are scriptural, which really aren't. One of them being God or money is the root of all evil, which is not scriptural. It's actually the love
All
of money.
cultural sayings that people think are biblical.
Another one is only God can judge me. No, that's not Paul. That's Tupac. It's not Paul. That's brother Tupac who said this. So another one is the one. We think the one is actually in the Bible,
That's funny.
but I'm happy to let you know that the concept of the one isn't actually found anywhere in scripture explicitly. I have to be very specific. Explicitly, but I understand why people pull this concept out of scripture. Because when you look through scripture, you see that there are different situations where there is a woman that is picked for someone.
Yeah,
Right?
I do believe that God can like pick someone.
I
In the
believe
sense
that too.
I believe in some situations God can see that two people can do really well together. Their
Yeah.
destinies mesh together really well. And God is a part of you and that person come together. It's just that it's not that you're never going to find somebody
Yes.
if that one person doesn't fall for you. That's what we're talking about.
Exactly. And you want to be careful because, again, like you were saying earlier with the advice that the mentor told you, how you can't put your fate in one person. That doesn't make any sense. Your destiny is not found in one single person. It's not locked into one person. And if you have that mentality, you could easily search forever and to find that one person and never actually find that person. So in scripture, one of the earliest account of the one would be Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
So a lot of people who believe in the concept of the one when it comes to the Bible, they pull from the story of Adam and Eve and they go and they see that, okay, well, Adam was there and then Eve was literally pulled out of Adam. And we think, this is the thing with Christians. Guys, I have to hold myself back. If I keep going deeper into this, I'm going to go on a rant about why Christians believe certain things that I'm just like, why do we believe this? We think that because Eve was pulled out of Adam, every single human being has a person that is just like basically like perfectly designed for you. And that theory is so crazy to me because it's like, how do we just start from there's nobody on the earth and God needs to reproduce and he's like, hey, Adam is by himself and he needs a helper. Let me create a helper out of him. How do we take this story and we said, oh yeah, everybody has a person that is perfect for you? That's to me, from what I've heard of people who believe in the one, that's the story they go to. It's like, yeah, well, Adam had Eve, and they go and they just kind of build a theory out of that. And I'm like, yo, this is not this is just like you're butchering scripture.
Very much options.
Huh? Pardon?
I mean, she was the first woman.
She literally was, and not even just that. Like, she was made to help him, and there was no, like you're saying, there's not like he couldn't reproduce. Like,
Yeah.
like God, like I'm not gonna say God had to do it that way, because God does things in a way that is very
However he
specific.
wants, yeah.
But God did it that way because he knew, okay, well, let me create, or let me tell something out of this situation.
He created a concept. He created a new earthly concept
For us to understand,
Yeah.
not for us to necessarily build off of, right? So we have to be really careful with this concept of the one, and especially if we can be honest, be careful with the idea of the one being in scripture, because again, it is not found in the Bible. There are different concepts in the Bible that kind of touch on the idea of somebody being there for you, or like a woman being chosen for you, but it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody in this world has this one person that was designed by God for them. So it's not in the Bible. Sorry.
So how is this dangerous? How can people abuse this? Like, how can this get really, other than what we talked about so far, feeling really cornered and like you have no choice but to be with this person? Obviously, twin flames is an extreme too, where someone kind of gets coerced into marrying someone, which happens a lot in the church as well. Pastors forcing people to marry people that they don't even love, which is disturbing. But, you know, what are some of the ways that you think this can be really detrimental to someone if they really feel like someone's the one? Yeah.
If somebody gets into, what do you mean, from the person who thinks someone else is the one, or the person who has been told?
From both sides. Yeah.
So from the side that is been told that they are the one, I think, like you said, it's quite obvious. You can easily feel controlled. You can easily feel like you're cornered. You can easily feel like the only option you have, especially if the person, just like for you, they pulled a God said card, which is a very wild card to pull. If you're not saying a prophetic word, the God said thing can go left really quickly. So I think the person who's been told that they are the one to someone else, I think it can be very dangerous, because they will feel like they don't have the option to say no. Yeah. And a lot of people don't have. Yeah, it is. That's witchcraft fully. And
manipulation. When someone doesn't have a choice or an option.
Exactly. And a lot of people, if we're being honest, they don't have the guts to say, no, I don't believe that. We act like it's an obvious thing. For example, in the documentary that we watched, and we were talking about earlier, with twin flames and this twin flame universe thing, a lot of people that were on this show, if you actually look through, because I did a bit of research after every docuseries, I kind of do my own research, and a lot of people that were on the show and that were part of the twin flame universe, they came out and they answered a lot of questions that people had, and one of the main question was, why were you still in it? Yeah. Like, what made you think it made sense to remain in something like that? And they were just being honest. Yeah, they were like, I just trying to find my perfect match. And they told me they could do it. And then, anyways, it goes into a whole other spiral. But the point is, when you're told that you are the one to someone, as much as you may not necessarily believe that this person is the one, if you're already struggling with trauma, if you're already feeling unfulfilled, if you're already feeling like no man or no woman are looking at you, subconsciously you may be like, man, maybe, you know what, why not? You know, why not just go for it, you know? And a lot of men and women who come with this whole you're the one thing, they specifically go after women and men who are very vulnerable.
And it's dangerous as well, because then the person who is feeling that the person like that someone is their one, and the person not interested in them, is now led into depression. Yes. Which we see in the show, right? Yeah. People have severe mental illnesses, need all this therapy and counseling because they've been led to believe that this person is the only person that can ever love them. And the person is telling them they don't love them. So it just keeps you in this cycle of pain and hurt, rather than waiting on God to actually bring along someone who actually wants to love you and care for you.
Yeah. And the thing is, it also, I think it exposes where you're at as well as a person.
Yeah, and it could also cause you too to prematurely go into relationships because you feel like if you're not with them now, then it's now or never type of situation. You know, it's never gonna happen for you. Which, if you're not ready for the relationship, can be really detrimental.
Yeah, people who pull the whole "you're the one" thing, you'll notice many of them are often very good at sales. Like
it's very
they're
urgent.
it's like an urgent thing. It's an urgent word. You have to marry me right now. I think somebody said this, that the person had a ring. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, God. It's giving witchcraft.
Yes.
It's giving I want to control the situation.
I fly on a broom at night.
Fully. Not only on Halloween.
Yeah, every day. That's
365 days.
That's my Honda broom.
I'm done. What are you saying?
Vroom, vroom. Sweep, sweep.
Not broom, broom. Is that what you said?
Vroom, vroom.
I thought you said broom, broom. This girl's not serious. You're actually not serious.
Get back on your broom, fam.
I'm done.
Like, don't tell me I'm your wife. What is going on?
She jokes.
Go park your broom at home and get out of here.
Somebody say broom, broom.
I said vroom, vroom. 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 Like, you know?
Wait.
Vroom, vroom. Let's go.
Vroom, vroom?
Vroom, vroom. Like the side of a car.
Okay, you mean vroom, vroom or vroom, vroom?
Vroom, V-R.
Vroom, vroom, right? Yeah. Okay.
Like they're taking off.
I was
abracadabra vibes.
I know what you mean. I thought you meant broom, broom.
Yo, I'm actually crying.
Actually jokes. Your jokes.
Oh, I'm crying. Wow, not the wizard.
But listen.
Oh man,
if you're out here talking about this woman of God is the one, this man of God is the one, this leopard of God is the one, because you're calling everything the one. You're calling everything the one at this point. Listen, if that's you, please understand this. You need to stop your madness.
Guys, I'm actually crying.
Because you're not helping the kingdom of God in your God said business. And even if, because let's be real, okay? Because I want to give both sides. Because I do believe, because the thing is, I know some people are going to start hating on me on this one. So let me give the other side. I do believe that God can tell somebody that somebody's for you.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be telling them that. Pray and wait. Understand,
please. Can we, men of, let me, right here. Men of God, please, if you see a woman in your dream and you believe this woman is for you to marry, please do not approach her and tell her, God told me you are my wife. Please. I'm trying to give you some game. In 2023, they call it Riz. I'm trying to give you some Riz. Please don't do it.
R-I-Z?
R-I-Z-Z.
Riz?
You never heard of Riz before?
No.
Riz. R-I-Z-Z.
Like info?
No. No, Riz is like game.
Game. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm learning.
Yeah, you Riz, you know?
Yeah, I'm learning Riz.
Do you still say T-Dot or you say the 6?
I say Toronto.
Okay, cool. Because you not knowing what Riz is kind of like, it's
whatever,
giving, I still say T-Dot.
Whatever.
I still say the dot.
Whatever. I'm old, okay?
I'm actually done. But anyways,
these terms.
I'm trying to help you guys out. If you see the girl, and even if, let me even go further. Even if God told you, forget the dream, God actually told you this woman of God is for you, this man of God is for you, I beg, as Nigerians would say it.
If it's really God, let God. God can do what He has to do.
And you can.
That God revealed to you I was your wife, right?
Yeah, but
he don't confirmed to you. That
yes, he
okay.
confirmed.
But at the time, I didn't know.
You didn't.
Like I was still praying through the decision, and He waited, and God confirmed it to me. It's okay. Like if it's really God, what's the rush? Let God speak for Himself. Stop speaking on His behalf when He hasn't asked you to.
So why do you think, okay, let me put it this way. Dang, it's 8:23.
Yeah, we gotta hurry.
We gotta hurry up, guys. We just
vroom,
love talking.
Vrooming over here.
Or is it? It's actually better if you say broom broom. It sounds more,
Vroom.
Okay, fine. Why do you think when men or women approach somebody and just do the whole like, you're the one, this urgency? Why do you think that is?
I think people are lonely and people are rejected.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand having a person that is there that loves you, a companion, is beautiful. I'm not knocking that, and I don't think it's bad to have that desire.
Mm-hmm.
But I think people are so lonely and so tired of being in the place that they're at that they just really want to come out of that place so badly that they're willing to manipulate somebody to be with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, by all means necessary.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, actually, I'm gonna just leave it at that. That's true. Back to your question though, because I spoke about the person being told that they are the one. Now, for the other side of things, the person that is saying to somebody that they are the one.
What do you do?
The reason why it's dangerous. No, I mean the person, because you asked me
why is it
on
dangerous?
both sides.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's dangerous for the person who is saying you're the one, because you're cornering that person. You're cornering that person when you say, hey, you're the one for me. God told me this. And nobody likes to feel cornered.
Also, men are supposed to be pursuing you.
Oh, are we going
Men
there?
are supposed to be pursuing you.
That's a whole podcast.
You should not be going and pursuing him and telling him that he's the one.
Oh.
If he really wants you, if he really has gotten that check in his spirit, that confirmation from God, be patient, keep loving God, keep thriving, keep growing, and let him come and pursue you the way you deserve.
Amen. That's good. Woman of God, stop rushing. Wait for your Boaz. Wait for your Boaz to come. The Boaz thing always kills me.
My Boaz.
My Boaz.
My Boaz.
The people who say that use that always trying to like. Anyways, I'm not gonna say that. But so, sorry guys, we're kind of all over the place, but this is a good episode.
So what do you do?
Go ahead.
If someone comes to you and they say you are the one, I think.
What should you do?
You politely say to them, I would like the space for God to confirm that to me on my own. I don't like that I feel cornered to be with you or with anyone. Please allow me and God the opportunity to commune and get that revelation on my own.
And also, so you would actually do that?
I've done that.
I think, to be honest with you, if a woman came to me and said, you're the one, I don't know if I'm just ruthless, but to me it's like, yeah, I'm cutting you off.
Well, I'm not saying actually go and pray about it if you don't feel it. But what I'm saying is, it's just giving the person kind of like a little bit of a lesson.
Okay, I see
that,
what you mean.
hey, like give people the space in the room to consult God on these things on their own.
Yeah. And
explain to them why it's there. Because they honestly might be harmless and they may not be like trying to be manipulative or witchy. So sometimes it's just educating people and letting them know, like, hey, I really don't think it's a good idea to be telling people that they're the one. If, I think that people should be able to come to that conclusion on their own, and it should organically happen if we're together.
Yeah, I totally agree, and you're very kind with it. I like that approach. That I call that the.
Or you can just say, "Get back on your broom." That's fun too.
Broom, broom.
Broom, broom.
Sorry, vroom, vroom. You're okay. For me, if somebody came and said that I'm the one, like I said, I'm a little bit more ruthless, but I do think in my right mind, I would use what I call the retail store tactic, which is in retail stores when they say, let me go check in the back.
Stop. And then you never come back.
And I never do it. That's what I would use. I would say, I'm a pray about it. Let me go check in the back. Let me go pray in the back for a sec. And be like, yeah, those Jordan 4s are not there. they're
not for you.
They're out of stock. I didn't pray about it. Or actually, I did. I did. For half a second, and I don't think that's God.
It's not God.
So that's how I would approach it. I just think telling somebody that that person's the one is.
Sorry.
What was that?
It just came out.
Like, is this like the Jamaican in you or something?
No, it was in my heart. It just came out.
Why are you singing Bob Marley while I'm speaking?
It wasn't Bob Marley. It just.
You say yeah.
No, I did not.
No, you say yeah.
I'm not.
So what were you saying?
I just sang. Can you?
No, but it would sound like a Jamaican.
Okay, well, I don't care what it sounded like. I'm telling you, I just felt,
No, but I was speaking. Why you have to and Bob Marley song?
I'm sorry.
Okay, if you listen to Bob Marley, do that on your own time, not on this podcast. All right. I hope you guys are enjoying this. The last topic or last question.
And hey, before we go into that, start asking your questions now,
please,
so that when the question time comes, we can. And if you haven't hit like on this video yet, please go ahead and like it. If you haven't subscribed, do that as well. What are you looking at?
Guys, I want to make sure you guys can still see us.
Yeah.
Are we good?
Can you guys see us?
Let us know in the comment section if you can see us. I just want to make sure that we're still good. Oh, yeah, you guys can still see us. We're good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Rihanna. Nice to see you, by the way.
Rihanna!
All right.
I miss you, girl.
Please make sure to go ahead and ask your questions now. And we're going to take a very short, 5 minutes at the end of this to answer some questions.
Yeah.
Okay, so Toya, the last question here we have. What do you do when you keep having dreams about the one?
Jesus. Stop eating burgers before you go to bed.
I'm done. What is your actual answer?
I think that
Your jokes.
I think that you take it to God. You take it to like, I want to emphasize it's okay to really be into someone. I don't want you guys to think that we're like knocking that or anything of that sort. But I think you take it to God non-biasedly. Mm-hmm. You don't take it to them. Don't take it to anyone else. Just go to God. And if you have like a mentor or a pastor or someone in your life that you can trust, who's trusted, who is going to be honest with you and is not afraid to tell you the truth, you can bring it to them as well. And just give it time. Because God can be speaking to you through a dream. Absolutely. God does it all the time. But give it time. Chew on the word a little bit. Don't just jump into it. Don't start stalking them on Instagram. Don't be that person. Because if the answer is no, then you've already devoted your heart into it so much. You've already given so much of yourself. And then now it's hard to, kind of step back because you've devoted so much to the relationship. So I say take some time, sit back on the word, write down the dreams, see the consistency in the dreams, and ask God what he wants you to do with them. Because it doesn't mean that it's for that time.
Yes, you're right. The timing of it is very, very important. And be okay with, like you kind of said, be okay with waiting.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the problem when it comes down to having dreams about people. We're very quick to want to share it, number one, with the person. We're very quick to even post it on our Instagram story or whatever it may be. And we're very quick to start making moves.
Yeah.
And I think that is where we go left, is because we try to help God in the process of God bringing two people together. And if it really is from God, trust me, you won't have to force it.
No,
it'll happen.
It will happen.
It'll happen naturally.
God is a divine matchmaker. He can do it.
You won't have to DM them the day after you had the dream. Be like, hey, how?
So I saw you in my dream last night.
If I got, can we even go there?
Get back on that broom, brother.
The I saw you in my dream is almost as bad as the one, or not the one. The God said.
God said.
Can we? Let me put it this way, guys. Okay, guys, start writing your questions. Can we be careful in the body of Christ with using dreams as a confirmation for things?
Everything.
Because don't get me wrong, I believe more than a lot of people that God speaks through dreams. I take dreams very seriously.
Oh yeah, especially you. You get some really.
I take dreams are very, very serious to me. But as the body, we have to become more intentional with dissecting our dreams, actually writing down our dreams, looking at the different symbolism, and being okay with a dream being a random dream because you ate too much fat burger the night before.
The works.
Because that happens. This girl, she wants to go to the works.
I would love to go to the works.
That happens, guys. And as Christians, we have to be okay with facing that reality. Hey, sometimes your dream is actually not a God dream. It's just because you talked about it the night before. You watched something about it the night before. And God is not part of it. And if you message a girl every single night before you go to sleep, if you're not dating her, that's already kind of weird. But hey,
that's a relationship at this
do what
point.
you want to do. If you're messaging a girl every single night before you go to bed, and then you have this 1 week where you dream about this girl 5 days out of 7, please slow down. Don't text her and say, I saw you in my dream. I think you're the one for me. Slow down. Because you've been talking to this girl every single night before you went to bed.
The Lulu. Jesus.
You're actually on the spectrum. You're in the middle,
I'm
though.
the spectrum of the Lulu.
You're in the middle, though. In the spectrum of the Lulu.
Yeah, the Lulu town is waiting for you.
Your jokes. You're waiting outside the gates of the Lulu town.
Waiting to come in.
Pretty much.
Yeah, waiting to go in.
You just have to say God said, and they're gonna let you right in.
Shall open.
I think that's a secret password for the Lulu town. The Lulu town gates are opened up
You can
through
only
the
drive
godsend.
brooms there.
Your jokes. But guys, let's be careful with this stuff because dreams are often used as a tool of manipulation, especially in the context of relationships. All right, it is 8:34. As you guys know,
Where are your questions?
we do our best to keep this thing under an hour, within an hour. So if you guys have any questions, write them in the live chat. I even want to encourage some people, if you're watching the replay and you have some questions, feel free to type them down in the comment section. We'll do our best to answer those questions as well. We don't always have to answer them live, but for those who are watching the live right now, go ahead and type your questions in the comment section. I say this every single podcast. Please do not force a question. This is not like a do or die thing. If nobody has a question, you guys know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go right upstairs with my wife. We're going to watch an episode of The Chosen. That's what we're going to do. That's all. So I'm going to give you guys, let's say 30 seconds. If you have any questions, type them down. If you don't, it is all good. I don't think it takes more than 30 seconds to think of a question. If you have I always say that if you have a burning question, you should know. All right, Toya, let's read it.
What is a safe way to get to know someone you may have interest in without giving your heart away too quickly / irresponsibly? Great question.
That's a really good question. Go for it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say, first of all, make up in your mind that this is your friend. Don't start to imagine how your kids would look together. Don't start to imagine them as you walk down the aisle. And start and govern yourself very specifically. When I say govern yourself specifically, what I mean is make sure that your conversations are not getting too deep into romantic relational questions. So keep the conversations casual, because once you start to open up the can of like, how many kids do you want? Where do you want to live? What kind of house do you want? When you start to get too deep into that, then your heart gets invested. And once your heart gets too invested, then it's really hard to come out of that point. So I'd say have a lot of boundaries in place. Spend time with them, not too much alone. Spend time with them with your friends. Let your friends get to observe them and see them as well, because your friends will be able to maybe see things in them that you don't necessarily see. But don't get too invested and too deep into conversations that you know that you're not necessarily ready for. Yeah,
and feel out, no pun intended, but feel out their red flags. The book is now available. Link in the bio.
Get your book.
The time where you're that season or period, whatever you want to call it, the time where you guys are not fully invested and you guys are not committed to each other in the concept of dating, that time is for you to go through this book here and to really see, okay, what are the red flags I'm seeing, right? Because I believe that time and that period, that season is such a blessing to be able to figure out, okay, do I really want to put up with this person's red flags? This book has 12 chapters. If you see 12 flags in this person and they're all in the book, you have to ask yourself a real question. Am I willing to go through life with this person? And I'm talking about someone you're actually interested in dating, and eventually, if you want to call it courtship, because we're Christians here, if you want to court this person and you want to eventually marry them, you have to ask yourself these questions. How am I going to deal with this person being overly controlling? Because that's one of the red flags in the book. This person not having or not respecting my boundaries. Now, I'm naming some red flags that hopefully if somebody's not respecting your boundaries and it's overly controlling, you would know that this person is probably not in the right place to date you right now or to marry you. But that time where you haven't fully committed your heart to that person is a time where you want to go through that book and figure out, okay, what can I put up with and what are the different red flags that I'm seeing in this person?
Yeah, that's a good answer.
All right. So I don't see any other questions, and that is okay because we still love you guys. We pray that you guys enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, you guys can do us a favor. Like this video, share this video to those so they can watch a replay, and share this book in your story, guys, okay? Love and Discernment, the 12 Keys to Recognizing Relationship Red Flags. We really would love if you guys could support this. Get it for someone that you know. Christmas is coming up. Get it for someone who is looking to get in a relationship or is already in a relationship and just wanting to improve and grow in the relationship.
Yes.
And don't forget to hit subscribe.
All right, guys. Have a great one, and we'll see you guys next Monday.
Love you. God bless.